thought about it the other day that we have a real calamity going on here in America, and that is AI is meeting along with these new American tariffs that just seem to have no regulation over them. And they're causing an expedient issue with unemployment. With these two things combined, I wanted to look into other people's perspectives and other professionals to see what they also thought about it. I remember that most of the voters that put Trump in office, approving Trump of doing these tariffs from the very beginning during his campaign, they are some of the most uneducated in America. And that's not a slight against someone, that's a fact. These are the people that supported Trump and his ideology, and their ideology, along with their support of him being now in the office, he's making these unintelligent decisions on our nation's future. So let's hear what other people have to say about it.
Things, unregulated jobs that are purely text in, text out. If your job, you get a message and you produce some kind of artifact that's like probably text or images, that job is at risk.
So just to give you some stats here as well, about 50% of Americans who have a college degree currently use AI. Mm-hmm. The stats are significantly lower for Americans without a college degree. So you can see how a splinter might emerge there, and that crack will widen because people like us at this table are all messing around with it. But my mum and dad in Plymouth in the southwest, rural England, haven't got, like, they just figured out iPhones. So like I got them an iPhone and now they're like texting me back. AI is a million miles away. And if I start running off with my AGI and my agents, that gap is going to widen. Women are disproportionately affected by automation, which is what you were talking about there, with about 80% of working women in an at-risk job compared to just over 50% of men, according to the Harvard Business Review. And jobs requiring only a high school diploma have an automation risk of 80%, while those requiring a bachelor's degree have an automation risk of just 20%. So we can see again how this will cause a sort of a
It's also a huge risk with business process outsourcing, which is essentially Western countries sending jobs to India, to the Philippines. Like at the moment, millions of people have been lifted out of poverty through the ability to do those kind of business process outsourcing jobs, and those are all going to go.
But they're going to have 1,000 employees.
But also, these people are actually already transitioning to training AIs. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a massive industry around training AIs.
So the shoes are getting pricier.
Shoes are going up. You can thank your government for that.
You can thank your president for that.
You can thank your president for it. You voted for him.
I didn't vote for him.
They fundamentally do not understand what they're doing. The notion is we've lost jobs to China, and we have. But we've picked up other jobs that we would not have had, better jobs, many better jobs as a result of our relationship with China. Many more than we would have if they were in a factory making socks. The iPhone being made in China, the success that has created, there's probably hundreds of thousands of people working for Apple today in America as a result of them making those phones in China that they would not have had. They'd be in a factory and it would be a third of the workforce. So we have new jobs, millions of new jobs in America that are created. It's the upwardly mobile nature of a society that doesn't want to work in a factory making socks. Hello? No. And at the same time, they're deporting the people that would it anyway. I do understand on some level, because there's a lot of rich people that made money that didn't build anything, but they made money trading stocks and bonds and buildings. Okay, not hating, but they never made anything. They never created a business. They never had to ship a shoe out or punch a card. They don't know what it's like. And that's the problem. And we are the people that create commerce, the Apples, the Steve Maddens, the Uggs, the Ralph Laurens. We create the economy and they're destroying it.
Left and the right, differences in wealth and values causing a conflict that we're seeing it changing our political order. So the first is changing our monetary order. The second is changing our political order internally. And then the third is the great world order, how countries deal with each other when there's a rising power challenging an existing power. And now we are going from multilateralism, which is largely an American world order type of thing, to a unilateral world order in which there's great conflict. And the other two factors all through history have been acts of nature, droughts, floods, and pandemics. And number four is technology changing. And how they are coming together are the main forces behind this. For example, there can't be imbalances anymore in that environment.
Do you think that President Trump's tariffs are exacerbating what you are describing, this complicated mix of challenges that the world is facing?
I think it's just a function of how well they're handled. You know, it's a reality that it's a desire to bring in tax revenue from that. It's a reality that we would like to build manufacturing and jobs here. This is a reality. That's how that's done, whether that's done in a practical way, whether that's done in a stable way, whether that's done with quality negotiations in which that's a mutual problem, or whether that's done in a chaotic and disruptive way that produces great conflict, makes all the difference in the world.
Based on what you're seeing right now, do you think that these tariffs are being carried out in a practical way or a chaotic way?
I think we'll see. So far, very disruptive. Right? And so we don't know what the numbers are. But that could be part of a process, right? It depends where we are at the end of the 90 days. Because what was put there is like throwing rocks into the production system. And those impacts would be enormous in terms of the efficiency of the whole world. Great cost.
A well-known online furniture and home goods store announced the layoff of 1,750 people. This represents 10% of their global workforce. And something similar is happening with Workday, a human resources management software company, which will also eliminate 1,750 jobs to invest in artificial intelligence. And here's a key point. Artificial intelligence isn't just replacing workers, it's also starting to decide who gets hired. Several companies are using automated systems to filter resumes and decide who to interview, and that might seem efficient, but it has its risks. Because these systems work under rigid patterns, if you don't fit exactly within the parameters, you're out. There's no room to explain your experience or your story. You're excluded without being given the chance to show your worth. So we shouldn't blindly believe that artificial intelligence makes everything better. It can be faster, yes, but it can also leave out excellent candidates for not fitting a predefined mold. Now, it's not all bad news. For those who work in areas like industrial engineering, maintenance, plant safety, or facility management, these changes can bring new opportunities. For decades, the United States sent its manufacturing overseas, closed factories, and became a service economy. But now the focus is changing. The goal is to reindustrialize the country, bring back factories, recover local jobs, and start producing on American soil again. Of course, this process won't be easy. The first consequence of this new direction is that many things will start to become more expensive. By increasing tariffs and relying less on foreign countries, costs will shoot up. And that, inevitably, will cause some discomfort at first. But in the long run, it could mean better salaries, more stable jobs, and a revival of local industry. When prices go up but paychecks stay the same, you feel the impact right in your wallet. Everything gets more expensive. New cars, imported goods, even everyday things. And that causes a chain reaction. If people spend less, businesses sell less. And if sales go down, layoffs go up. It's that simple. And sadly, all signs point to that being what's happening. For many people, this won't be easy to get through.